This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 935. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. And with me this week, from 1999, we have Don Ferguson. Hey, Don, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
I'm good.
I thought he was from 1969.
Is he?
Actually
1959?
Yeah, I'm like
70.
Yeah.
No, my dad's from 1959.
Oh, well, so 1970 is still canonically the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Chris, that's Chris. Matt.
Yes, hello.
Matt, hey, Matt.
Hello.
Hey.
Rob.
Hello.
Diecast.
Hey, everybody.
And, yeah, John is not here. And I just woke up, so this is going to be fun.
Special shout out before we get into anything else, though. I want to wish a happy birthday to Josh Wheeljack64. Very long time listener of the show, has been in our Discord from basically the beginning. So happy birthday, Josh. Really cool dude. Has helped me out with a lot of stuff before, and I wish him all the best.
He's good people.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Josh. Okay, cool.
He's one of the regular TFCon hangout crew. Good times.
Yeah, I need to not look at the Discord with the conversation going on right now, so I cannot pay attention to that. So that was pre-show content lost to the ages, but yeah. So for you live listeners, that was definitely worth it. Okay, hey, so Diecast wanted to mention that pre-orders went back up on Pulse without price increases, which is interesting. So we will see what that holds for long term. So we do know that we still have tariffs in place. What, 10% across the board?
I think so. It's either 10 or 20, depending
It's
on
10.
some.
Yeah, it's
something like
it's-
that.
It's like a baseline 10 and then another percentage depending on what specific country you're talking about.
Yeah. So we'll see what that means. It's a temporary pause, but maybe a permanent pause if
Just
people think.
for some slight context around this for people coming to this from like far in the future, if we have a future. Hasbro did suspend pre-orders for stuff that had already been up for pre-order after May 9th because of expectations of having to change the prices. So for several days, HasbroPulse.com had most of their stuff not available for pre-order at all. It was all marked as being sold out or otherwise unavailable. As of today, as far as we can tell, they have turned those pre-orders back on. So it's not new items for pre-order, but all the stuff that was already there previously, you can start pre-ordering again, and presumably it will be fulfilled at the previously known prices when it comes in.
So hopefully it holds that way. We'll see, though. Okay, let's jump to the news. So there's quite a few things that were unveiled, revealed, or shown off at the Shizuoka
Hobby Show.
You need to write this phonetically for me, Chris. Shizuoka Hobby Show. So the one
I'll start writing it in the katakana since that's literally the phonetic writing of it.
Well, like the schwas and things that okay. So Zoids, Cross Diaclone, Cross Transformers, Shield D Prime. So if this actually you could wind it up, if you could wind this up, I'll buy it. Is it mechanical?
Well, I mean, it's mechanical in that it has levers and other mechanical joints like that. It's not motorized. I think is the question you mean to ask. I'm being extremely pedantic right now.
That is what I meant to ask.
Yes.
So it is not.
So, the thing is, though, what has become of Zoids in the last, 10 years or so has been a move away from the motorized versions.
Oh, that's lame.
And basically they're doing what I will probably liken to masterpiece versions more, where it might still be a model kit, but it's designed to be a posable model of that Zoid, where the motorized ones, they were fixed in pose, and when they aren't walking, they are just static pieces. Cool looking static pieces, to be sure, but if you care more about the Zoids media as a starting point instead of just the model building side of it, there's an appeal for the older collectors of Zoids, which do exist, to have posable versions. And I think this is kind of leaning more in toward that, as well as having the crossover connection with Diaclone, because both series have little pilot figures that go in that are roughly in the same scale, give or take. They're probably fudging it a little bit for this, but like the spirit of it is definitely there. So it's a three-way crossover: Zoids, Diaclone, and Transformers.
It doesn't work for me. If it's not motorized, like with that look, I don't care for it.
And see, like my problem is that they are doing this based on the Shield Liger, which is itself iconic within its space. I never liked the Shield Liger design. I would want this to be the Blade Liger, the upgrade version. On the other hand, I'm very happy it's not, because now I don't want to get it.
So this does this convert / transform with a naturally occurring gear pulleys and gears, or does it fall apart and you reassemble it?
Don, I think that joke, you waited a little too long to squeeze that in, but like,
Well, I was trying. I couldn't get a word in edgewise before then, so I tried.
yeah. So
I do my best.
I would rather this be like Hot Shot or something like that from Star Ears, Hot Shot Optimus Prime, which would be kind of cool, but no, it is not.
Robotics Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So, but honestly, does this actually transform, or does it disassemble, reassemble?
I think it transforms. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's very obvious to me from the photos.
Well, I don't know.
That
The way these model kits are getting, it's kind of hard to tell.
I agree. Don, yeah. But it transforms. So, and the Diaclone component is the fact that it uses a Diaclone pilot. That's what I read earlier. Is that right?
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you like looking at it, you can kind of see it's built to the like Diaclone design style. In as much like it's fusing that with the Zoids aesthetic. The Transformers part is just that it transforms. It's primarily a Zoids cross Diaclone item here, and they're just using Optimus Prime or Convoy on it to kind of justify why it transforms.
Now I'm looking on eBay for like non-sealed card Star Ears. I shouldn't have looked at this.
More on that next week.
No, I'm not buying anything. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Okay, so Macross 7 Cross Transformers Basara Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Is Macross 7 the one that had like them controlling the jets with music, or am I getting my?
No, it has a guitar, so I would say
Yeah.
that's probably right.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
I mean, all Macross has like music strongly tied into what it is. But yeah, this one has a guitar. It's probably what you're thinking of.
Okay. Well, at least it's not Min-May sinking, so there we go.
Well, good job, Don. You just lost us all of our Macross audience. Yeah, so like this is a VF-19 that has obviously been designed by the normal Transformers engineers because it is a Valkyrie skin on the back of a folded up robot. You can like just for the little bit you can see the underbody of the jet mode there. Like you can tell it's behaving exactly like any other aircraft transformer.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, Manny, Kara, and Blade are saying that the Diaclone Zoid thing comes with a Diaclone motorbike too. That's the other component. So
yeah, I think that's the gray thing on the left side of the main picture.
Yeah. So this doesn't work for me.
I kind of have a problem
Where
with...
is that base coming from? I don't.
Oh, that's the Jets trailer.
Yeah.
Jets need trailers, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Someone looked at Silverbolt and said, "Hold my beer."
So does Harmony Gold get a piece of this?
You know, I was kind of wondering what the situation would be with that, because like I don't think Harmony Gold has direct rights to Macross 7, but I would not necessarily put it past them to just kind of be a dick about it and try to block it from getting imported just because they think they can. Now, Oh, go ahead.
I think things have been revised in recent years because I believe Macross 7 is actually going to get a release domestically finally.
Okay, that's promising.
Yeah, I think the agreement has been refined just to clarify that Harmony Gold only has any kind of claim on the U.S. distribution of the original Macross.
Okay.
The rights are a nightmare in Japan too. So, but yeah, I know that there was a Macross game that came out to the PS5 based on one of the more recent series last couple of years. So I'm pretty sure the rights situation has improved. Sadly, Harmony Gold still exists.
Well,
but
yeah.
Things are a little bit less ridiculous than they used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Thing-
I'm kind of with Brian on this. I like this isn't really doing anything for me, especially since just looking at it, I feel like I can kind of see that Valkyrie's mostly going to be folded up as like backpack elements. It's not it doesn't feel like it's there enough as a transformer to I guess it's taking the spirit of Transformers jets in that it is a robot underneath a jet skin, but like I just knowing especially that Bandai can engineer these Valkyries to be better than this, like this feels like kind of a step backwards.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
considering how much these Valkyries tend to go for normally,
Hmm.
and you've got double license on top of all that.
What were you gonna say, Rob?
Thank you. I feel like
All right.
I feel like that this is I feel like this is where the crossovers kind of start to break down because yeah, like you were saying, they basically took a transforming toy and made it worse. So beyond that, like I both Hasbro and Takara Tomy have kind of quirks with how they do their crossover toys. With Hasbro, at least in terms of the GI Joe things, it's like we have to make 100% sure that this character and this vehicle do not aesthetically match in any way whatsoever. Meanwhile, Takara Tomy is like, okay, we have two characters. We have Optimus Prime and Megatron. You got kind of hallucinated the other like 600 Transformers. Because like somebody said that, this because it is, a music themed transforming toy that is red and yellow should be Blaster. But also just in terms of just theme and appearance and all that, it should be Rodimus Prime.
And failing all that, it could just be Jetfire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a chance. I'm not saying I'm getting it, but I'll wait for color photos and more
A price.
pictures and a price. Yeah, absolutely. I can't say that I'm excited about it, but it might not be that bad.
It's just more weird that it exists.
Right.
Like I think to at least part of the point Rob was making, it would almost make more sense to me if this was not a Transformers crossover, but was like Macross cross Diaclone reboot. Like if they had brought those two things together instead, because the Valkyries are, piloted unliving mecha. Valkyries and Diaclone have that in common. You could fuse those concepts more cleanly, I think. And in doing that, I don't think you'd be as beholden to making sure that you get like the definitely recognizable Optimus Prime shape in the robot. You'd have more flexibility to let it kind of do its own thing that's not being a Valkyrie or a specific identity of Transformer or specific identity of existing Diaclone mecha. Like I think the Transformers crossover part here was the misstep. Plus, Diaclone is a Deep Pockets fandom. Macross toys are a Deep Pockets fandom. Like that just feels like a perfect fit together in that way too.
Yeah. This is an Optimus Prime though, right? It's
Yeah.
it's Basara Prime.
Yeah, Basara, I believe, is one of the main characters in Macross 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not buying it. So what about this Evangelion crossover? What in the heck is that?
Well, I'm guessing it's going to be another Optimus Prime.
Probably.
Because as Rob correctly noted, we hallucinated all those 600 characters that weren't Optimus Prime or Megatron, and we may have mostly hallucinated Megatron the way things are going here. Yeah, I mean, like you can kind of see the Optimus Prime silhouette there, and the two parts, I guess I will say that say Evangelion at all is the fins coming up off the shoulders and maybe the spiky antenna poking out of the head. Like that's the front, like there's that center antenna coming out, and that's about all the silhouette betrays that says Evangelion to me. So, like we had the the MP10 recolor in Unit 1 colors. This might be something comparable to that because it still does look like a truck body silhouette. And Evangelions are not themselves particularly suited to being turned into Transformers, just in their like design aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, if you want to see what the crossover of Evangelion and more traditional blocky robot aesthetics, looks like, That's Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quux, currently running on Amazon Prime.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Well, same designer, so yeah.
Plus, Evangelion showed up in the train show a couple years ago.
Thomas the
That
Tank
was
Engine.
weird.
Big block.
Shinkalian, you were close.
Shinkalian.
Yeah.
And Don says a couple years ago, I think that was 2018.
Well, it's still a couple in terms of geologic age. It's a couple of
there
years
you
ago.
So this is a cardboard poster or something, or stand-in at the convention. So this doesn't, or the toy show. So this doesn't follow the normal pattern. If something shows up in silhouette, 1 week, and the next week we actually have a photo of it. Like, do we have any idea of how long it'll actually be before we see this?
I mean, we could see it. There's no reason we wouldn't see it next week.
But if they were going to show it off, like, they would probably show it off at the show.
I mean, I think it's kind of the same thing like how we get from Hasbro reveals the Through the Space Bridge thing, which uses existing art assets to represent an idea. And like, we might get to see the actual thing 2 weeks later just because there's an agreement to reveal it, in this place at this time. Like, they could have something already set up that, we're going to do like a proper focused reveal event, the last week of May, for instance. But like, you can kind of get people hyped up for it already, looking for that by showing off the teaser at Shizuoka. Like, it's not it's a fairly sensible way to go about this, even if they were going to actually reveal this in a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not an Evangelion person. I've never even watched it. I don't think.
You're just as well off.
Yeah,
I saw the finale as the first thing I ever saw, and it's
well, that was your mistake, Don.
Yeah. So yeah, probably not going to get it. But if I love it when I see it, I could be swayed.
Or if it's wacky enough.
Yeah, or if it's wacky enough. That's true. Like, I did end up pre-ordering the Godzilla Megatron.
That's better than the Mechagodzilla Optimus.
Yeah. Okay, AMT02 Predaking color sample. This feels like something Don would like.
I like it. I'm sorry. It's just Predaking has never been one of those characters that's like, I need like the best one. I never got any of the Predakings other than the Combiner Wars one. But
then you definitely didn't get the best one.
I know I didn't. I got the one that was portable. Because Pharaoh Rex is still going for a huge amount of money on the aftermarket. I think it looks great. It's a bit proportionally wonky donkey because the individual Predacons that aren't Razor Claw are so small. But I think the aesthetics helps hide some of that odd proportionality. But I fear for the price tag. I fear that it'll be so high that I can't afford it and I'll be sad, or I'll fear that I could swing that if I just ...
I mean,
and then
probably,
which is more likely for Don.
It probably will come in under a Tryon 3.
So
how much was the Tryon 3?
I got 300 shipped on one of them.
So this is
maybe not.
This is the second AMT2 toy. The first was Hot Rod.
Yeah,
Lost Light Rodimus.
Yeah,
right?
AMT01 is IDW Rodimus,
and this is Takara. This isn't like some second party, some licensee. So
a licensee is a third party.
I know, but I'm using it colloquially. So
okay.
So like
like
people
also incorrectly.
Well, people watching the video could see me use quotation marks, and then I implied that in my voice.
But
Brian, it's an audio podcast.
Yes, that's why I said I implied it in my voice with the emphasis.
Yes, but Matt and I are assholes, and we don't care about that.
Yeah. So, but with that said, like, so this is with a second one, with one sample or one whatever, you have like a novelty. Like with a second, you have like a theme or a genre. So we could expect potentially to see more of these. So if there are, like, if this becomes a thing and this is a consistent like motif or aesthetic with these, I could see myself kind of liking them. But just as a one-off or a two-off, I just can't. I can't dedicate myself to or like my budget toward buying just this. Like
Yeah.
to me, it's no different.
Well-
To me, it's no different than buying a statue or something. It just feels like not canonical.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
get you.
sort of it's a very stylized take, sort of like what King Toys did on their Predaking, although that did come out to be a very overall well received figure for its stability and such. From what I've seen, this would not fit on anybody's shelf. This would be its own shelf. It'd be on top of somebody's detolf or in a detolf if you can get it to fit. As just a thing to admire, but it would not fit with anything else as part of a collection.
Yeah, it's like a statue. That's what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
do
as a
we know how-
standalone piece, I like it. I'm just afraid it's either going to be too expensive or it's going to be just affordable enough if I kill myself trying to justify it.
I want to know how big it is. We don't have
Yes.
like the display here. It is in isolation, and the only thing that we can see in a photo with it is another Zoids kit from the current lineup that I have absolutely no frame of reference for how big that is supposed to be. So like currently all of this visual information is essentially useless to me because like this thing could be 10 inches tall or it could be 20 inches tall, and they're like I just cannot tell, and that would dictate a lot like if I would even want to entertain the idea of this in the first place.
Yeah,
probably
I have a
don't,
feeling.
but-
Was this not seen alongside the other stuff at the Shizuoka Hobby Show?
It's on display there, but it's not like with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is either going to be affordable and unmanageably small,
Yeah.
or enormous and expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So the AMT01 Rodimus? There's an EX version that's a redeco.
Yeah, it's Lost Light Rodimus.
Yeah. So did Rodimus was what 200 something like
Or
that?
249, like somewhere in that neighborhood. Yes,
Yeah. So
it was a little. It was on the expensive side. It's apparently nice though.
Yeah, you got to imagine
Yeah.
Predaking's going to be more.
Yeah, I mean, compared to what Flame Toys statue goes for, and that's what it was based on. Well, not statue, but the Flame Toys
Action figure, yeah.
action figure version. It was affordable compared to it,
hmm
but
Also smaller though.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you like it, you win. I guess that's all I gotta
Yeah.
say on that. Those colors just have never set well with me for a Rodimus.
I love those colors. Why doesn't Hasbro ever give us a hot rod?
I
in
mean,
those
the colors look nice, but not for Rodimus. It's like that should be somebody else.
In story terms, they make sense. My only issue with this execution of them is just the fact that, to be honest, I think they look better in the comic as flat colors than they do here as metallics. And especially, like, I feel like the black should be a little bit richer to provide more contrast. And if it weren't metallic, that would probably come off a little bit better.
Okay, so Spencer Wild is helping us out a little bit in the Discord chat, tfradio.net/Discord. Thank you, Spencer. He's rounded up some photos of the AMT01 Rodimus for size comparison purposes. It's about a head and a half taller than Cloud Rodimus, which was the Thrilling 30 Springer mold. So it's basically like a moderate leader size toy. This does not necessarily indicate how big the Predaking is going to be, but like they sold this for in the neighborhood of $200. So like Predaking
So there's a separate picture that was shared that showed Predaking beside of Rodimus at a previous event.
okay. Yeah, so like with Rodimus standing straight up, it doesn't look like this Predaking is going to be that much taller than it. Like they look like they're in the same height class more or less. So yeah, like this is probably going to be still fairly expensive, and I think it's probably going to trend toward more what Rob was saying, which was unmanageably small for the individual pieces.
Yeah, but
Very expensive Micromaster Predaking.
I mean,
Kinda.
so I would say he's smaller. He's smaller than Cybertron Primus, but he is not.
Oh, sure.
I would say he's not dramatically smaller.
I think he might be.
Primus isn't that big.
Well, we'll find out more probably in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah. Okay. So MPG-18 Road Hauler.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I
I'm
gotta
surpri-
say that I'm surprised this didn't come out sooner, which is
Yeah,
probably what
that's
Don
what I
was
was
gonna
saying.
say. But maybe they just had a whole bunch of extra green from Devastator, and they're like, "What are we gonna do with this? Let's just bring out Road Hauler." Because you see it next to Devastator, and the green is almost exactly the same from
Yeah.
what we can tell in the photos.
Well, I think
Okay, sorry, Don, you go ahead.
no, sorry, you go ahead, Rob.
Okay, I was just gonna say it may just be the conditions of the photo, but actually Hauler does look a little bit more yellowish casts, like more to the chartreuse range than the Constructicons do.
Slightly more highlighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it may actually be, a slightly different color, but to be honest, I kind of wonder if there is something to, bulk pricing on materials, deciding what happens when.
See, I think this also because it's come out so far removed from Grapple and Inferno originally that they need to put something out as a mold reuse in order to get more money. Basically, they're
Oh, it's the same thing they did with Black Ironhide. They're like, we need a space filler.
exactly, and I think
Let's
they're
pull out
using
this many years old mold and re-release it.
That people mostly like, though, is kind of the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I generally like those a lot.
Yeah,
That
it's
that Masterpiece Grapple / Inferno is a really good Masterpiece toy. That was, I know a lot of people have a problem with it because that was like the first one that was very heavily cartoon style.
yeah,
But it's still amazing, and it has the magical transformation steps of hiding the crane.
the ladder.
Like
Yeah.
it is. If you haven't experienced that Masterpiece, it is excellent.
Yeah, I've got the Mastermind Creations of him from
Which is
the
not
convention exclusive. I know, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying I've got my green hauler quotient. But I mean, it looks good.
I have the Walmart Velocitron one too. If we're counting things that aren't this toy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, okay, so not its own news item, but we do have like a really good photo of MPG-17 Optimus Prime, and he is not immediately next to, I was going to say Transmetal 2 Cyber Shark, Skybite, but it's a pretty fair comparison with the two, and he's
bigger than I thought he was going to be.
yeah, he's about half again as tall as Skybite is, so he's substantially larger than I was expecting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my guess now is it's probably going to be comparable in height to like Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
Like it's a big tall toy.
It is.
It's bigger than the stock photos and stuff made it look.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
It
And
does.
the problem is though, if you look at the missing link, which we'll talk about next, the set, that is not going to be in scale. So this Optimus is
Why
going to be
would
either.
it be?
Well, I'm just saying.
Completely different line.
I know, but I'm just saying.
It's
if you
also
thought-
not in the scale with the Hearts of Steel toys down in the front either, Don.
It's also not. Yeah, it's also not.
Okay,
Hard to
never
steal.
mind.
It's also not
Just-
Road Hauler. So
whatever, just never mind.
so
Actually, it is directly next to Road Hauler, so like anybody with a good grasp of how big that Masterpiece Inferno mold is actually could basically figure out how tall the Style Generation Optimus Prime is.
It
Yeah,
kinda
I
looks
was
like it's
actually
getting close to MP1.
I was actually thinking he would be he's about MP10 sized,
Maybe, yeah.
which is perfect. I mean, I love MP10. I really like that they're not doing super cartoon again.
Yeah.
And I think this almost looks to be an updated MP10. I just really wish it would come with different antenna. Those antenna are
Yeah.
a little big for me.
it doesn't have multiple heads.
But I don't know.
So I'm gonna share something. I don't
What's your
collect-
show?
Yeah, I don't collect Masterpiece. I've said that. I say that's my, like, Don repeats the same story over again. That's the story I repeat. I don't collect Masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I said a couple weeks ago, like, if I pre-ordered this one, it would be because I'm the host of Radio Free Cybertron, the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast. I might have pre-ordered this a few weeks ago and just didn't mention it. And now that I see it, I don't regret it.
No.
No, it's
definitely not.
really nice looking.
It is.
Yeah.
I hope, like, again, I think I expressed the same desire when we were talking about this previously. I hope that doing this is kind of like the starting point of a second system of Masterpiece toys in a non-cartoon style again, because that's when Masterpiece was at its best, when it was making its own like ultimate versions of these characters based on a little bit of everything and not being slavish to one specific source
Looks
material.
so good. I hate myself for how much I like this.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay. So Don had mentioned the other item, which is the 2-pack Missing Link anime Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get them.
You know what's disgusting about this? Those toys individually sold for $40, and this 2-pack, therefore, is going to be at least $80.
I'll buy it.
Ooh. Now, what's different on these guys?
So they have cartoon heads, and their colors are a little bit more themed toward
Yeah,
cartoon palette.
Yeah, I know Cliffjumper specifically has the grays instead of blacks.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
They are minor redecos, and they have alternate heads that are cartoon design based. It's kind of like the keychain reissue Bumblebee from like 2004 onward, where they did retool the head to be cartoon style. But it's on the Missing Link body now. Basically, this is probably also going to be a nicer sculpt than that, I would assume.
Yeah, their weapons aren't chromed anymore either, if that was an issue for people.
But it's like we were talking about sometime back with the Missing Link stuff when the mini bots were first a thing here. Like, these are molds, little simple molds that have a ton of rerun potential, and we are just seeing the first step of that. It is just, unfortunately, a lot more mundane than anything that we had pitched for that reuse potential at the time.
Yes, I had really hoped the first reuse would be red Bumblebee and yellow Cliffjumper. But
Yeah.
See, that would
alas.
make sense to me, or like do a G2 version,
This
or
is the
do
first, like you said, first
Yeah.
reuse.
yeah,
Not the last.
yeah. No, and like I think the color swap versions are still probably very likely, but that would probably end up being something like a Tokyo Toy Show exclusive
Oh, yeah.
rather than a retail item. So like we could still see those pop up sometime soon this year if they have a mind to go for the color variants like that.
Yeah.
Alongside a spin out off of the
Oh,
off.
Yeah,
this just shows
unfortunately.
that we were right, and they're gonna repaint the heck out of these guys.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there was never
Bring 'em
any
on.
question about that. And like the character and mold choices that they have gone for so far all focused on having some built-in reuse potential, because like the Sunstreaker mold has plenty of reuse potential in it easily. We are already getting 2 versions of the RC mold, and a Paradron Medic is another one of those things that they could do like a show exclusive of and get a third out of
they
that.
they need to do that for me specifically.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Yeah.
would be super, super surprised if that does not end up existing by the end of this year. No, like, this is what Missing Link is mostly going to be as it's establishing itself, is going to be choices of stuff with a lot of reuse potential, and also hopefully still some stuff that is like Sunstreaker, where they are recreating stuff that does not exist for actual G1 reissues anymore.
But
Yeah.
we also still need that G1 Missing Link Unicron, because I think that would
Yeah,
be
heck
really
yeah.
cool.
We'll never get it, but you're absolutely right. Now, if
Hey, I don't
Takara,
disagree.
now it wouldn't make sense for Takara to do their own like HasLab equivalent because they are deeply involved in HasLab in general. But if they did, and they did like the Unicron, like I would buy it no matter how much it costs.
Oh, I mean, depending on how this sells in their markets, I could absolutely see them taking a swing.
Yeah.
And they did do something like analogous to a HasLab when they tried to, well, they did do it. They
Grand Max.
that was basically the same thing as a HasLab project, because they said at the time if they did not get 2,000 pre-orders on that, it was not going to get made. And they had a stretch goal on it for the
shell?
cloud,
Protector shell.
which was an
It was
unreleased
supposed to be Wave
retool.
Rider. Yeah, it was supposed to be Wave Rider, but instead
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, wait. Did they didn't do a shell for
No, so like the stretch goal was a retool of one of the Prime Master shells that we have, but the retooled parts never got released otherwise.
Okay, yeah.
So it was gonna be that for that, but they needed, I think, another 1,000 or 1,500 pre-orders above their minimum to get that made, and they didn't meet that number.
So sad.
Yeah, I mean, just for the fact of that, there's no conceivable way that tooling is going to ever get released otherwise. Yes, it's like I'm sad for that purpose. I didn't need a Grand Mech because I didn't like even entertain the idea of trying to get into one of those. Anyway, I think Brian wants to move on.
No, I was coughing. I'm having a coughing fit this evening, but I did want to move on because the all-day Transformers Elite Action Elite Wave 2 picture. So Auldey, do they have two scales, right? Or is it just the one scale?
Everything is in the same scale together. The smaller characters come in multi-packs,
Gotcha.
so that they are blind packaged figures, so smaller characters come in like 2 packs so that you don't get gypped on, trying to buy a Soundwave or a Megatron and you get a Cliffjumper instead.
Yeah, so
for
like
the same price.
There are too many of these like non-transforming things that are coming out, and they're all pretty good. Like between Blokees and Yellow Park and these, like we're more than covered when it comes to those. But like these all look pretty good. Like there's a little too much posability, I think. Like looking at them, so we have Elite-01, Perceptor, Bumblebee, Shrapnel, Megatron, Skywarp, and Black Convoy, Nemesis Prime, whichever one you want to call him. But like looking at this picture of Shrapnel, like doing this like hand motion gesture, Matrix-y type of pose thing.
Well, he's throwing lightning. He's throwing lightning.
Okay. Well,
He might just be throwing shade. You don't know.
He could be throwing shade. But yeah, like it just looks off to me. But like, hey, it's great that it does it. But I just doesn't, like, I just don't have enough room in my life for a third of these.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a line I would want to go all in on, but there is absolutely like individual pieces here that I think look really good. And if I had a way to easily get like the specific ones I had an interest in, like I totally would. The Seeker body, for one thing, is really nicely made, which, probably conforms to the theory I have about most Seeker toys, where like the people making them are going to put some extra effort into that because they know they're going to get X number of reuses out of that, so they can get their money back more over time. An interesting thing to point out here is that most of these figures are reusing some parts from Wave 1 toys.
Okay.
So, like there's a small amount of reuse from RC on Elite-01. Perceptor is reusing Soundwave parts. Obviously, the Bumblebee is largely reusing from Cliffjumper, and even Shrapnel is borrowing some of the parts from Bombshell. Was it Bombshell or Kickback in the first wave? I can't even remember, but I think it was Kickback. But yeah, and then obviously Skywarp is just wholesale reuse from Starscream.
Like they are great. They just don't differentiate enough from like other offerings. And like I've already bought Yellow Park and I've already bought Blokees. Like I'm not all in on either because like I don't have enough room in my life for them. But like these are not. If these were easily available, like just going to Walmart like Blokees are. Like I would probably pick some up, but I don't think I could be a completist with them.
And then like the thing I really hate is some of their chase figure choices here. So for Wave 2, the chase figures are a 2-pack of G1 Goldbug and what they're calling Shattered Glass Bumblebee, but is actually just BotCon Bug Bite.
Holy crap. So Goldbug is that's like a chase figure? He's basically like a whole new figure.
It's probably not as much a new figure as you think. Like it is still, I think, the Cliffjumper Bumblebee body, just with a few more new parts on it.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It does. No, it looks really good.
Well, I think what you were talking about a minute ago, Chris, about putting a little more effort into the Seekers. With him being the first of the throttle bots, you've got several other reuses down the road when they get to Chase and Searchlight and the regular car formers there. But where are people finding these? Because I've looked for these before and they're not showing up on any other traditional sites. Are they available only through Asia or
Probably, yeah.
I think that
Okay.
may be it. Yeah.
Like, I believe these are designed for the Chinese market predominantly. But as is usually the case, if you know the places to look, your Taobaos and your Temus and AliExpresses, you can probably find somebody selling them. Just, the way things are right now, it may not be the most cost-effective thing to try to pursue that. I'm hoping that, like the Blockies and to a limited extent the AMK stuff, the Yellow Park stuff, we will see some official distribution in this part of the world for these figures, because yeah, they look really nice. The thing that makes me the most mad though out of this Wave 2 Chase assortment is the toy version Megatron.
That looks so good.
Yeah, because like their Megatron just as a baseline looks really good, although to Brian's point, it also looks very, very much like just a slightly simplified YOLO Park Megatron. So, they're all kind of working from the same playbook here, but like this toy version of this Auldey one, like it's really, really nice.
So
I
Chris,
would so love to have that.
Chris, why don't you like close us out with all this Blockies news? I don't have enough energy in me to talk about Blockies for that long.
We've got official images of Blokees Galaxy version Wave 7. This is part 2 of the Transformers 1 themed offerings. So you have some of the characters with their transformation cog versions, where the first wave had the cogless. B127 and Orion Pax have their cogs, so I guess he's on his way to being Optimus Prime at that point. But then you also get a new D16. There's Alpha Trion, Elita 1, Starscream, Soundwave, Shockwave, a silver recolor of the Death Tracker from the previous wave. And then there is Final Form Megatron and a metallic chase version of that. So a pretty good assortment here. And like I've talked about this before, I think the Transformers 1 character design aesthetic really, really plays well with how blocky aesthetic works. So I don't think there's really like a bad choice or a bad outcome in any of these, because like these feel like they just perfectly fit together what they're doing. I can't say like I'm super thrilled about the silver Death Tracker, but like if Walmart ends up getting this assortment on shelves too at some point down the line a little bit, I definitely could see myself grabbing a few, because like I like basically everything I'm seeing here. The last item is a Blokees Action Edition Soundwave. There's a promo video and images for that. So the Action Edition is the like a little bit larger scale, more complexity version figures. They have electronics. This has speech clips in it, which I feel like some of these may have gone through some questionable automatic translation on one stage or another. Like audio clip 1 is rumble, laser beak, ravage, eject, 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 which is normal cartoon kind of dialogue. The audio 2 though, contact Decepticon Master, I am yours to command, which does not sound like any Soundwave dialogue I'm familiar with, but maybe it loses something in translation. Yeah, so like that part of it you can probably take or leave, but if you want just like a nice larger but like still easily assembled Soundwave like model kit figure, this looks really good, and at some point soon should be making its way to normal Blockies retail channels. Probably not near so much, but like overseas that you'll pay import duties on.
Nah, you might get some US sellers that carry these.
It's possible. Some Walmarts do have the Action Edition movie Optimus Prime and Bumblebee.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible that we would see more of those, because like we have to keep in mind the Blockies assortments that Walmart has now is the second go at Blockies at Walmart, because they had the sidekicks for a few weeks in a lot of the stores with Galaxy Wave 2 or 3, I think.
It was
one of the one of the earlier assortments, and that obviously did well enough that they wanted to bring that back. Hopefully, I have seen just at my local store that there has been turnover of several cases
Nice.
of the Transformers One Galaxy version. So hopefully that is something that's going on a widespread basis, and Walmart will be motivated to keep having Blokees assortments come in both of the scales. It's a really great thing to be able to go and just grab one or two of those at $5 a piece. And, you know, even if for reasons they had to go up to say $7 a piece, that's still competitive with what like comic book stores and other
Yeah.
specialty retailers have been selling them for when they import them themselves. So like there would still be some value there to me.
Yeah, cool. We good? Can we jump to what we got this week?
Absolutely.
I want to go first. Nothing great, but I just want to get out of the way. So I got 4 of the Galaxy version Series 5 Blokees at Walmart. The $5 each.
Yeah.
I got Bumblebee or B187 or whatever the hell his name is.
B127.
B127. I got Ryan Pax.
Badassatron.
Will Jack and whoever became Megatron. I don't remember their names from.
Well, so
D16. D16. Yeah.
Yeah, so they took that from the
Box of the Megatron.
The Japanese one, yeah.
Yeah. So I remembered it as after I said I didn't remember it.
Yes.
So
thank you, brain.
Yeah.
Narf.
Narf, yeah. So Kim picked up something for me this weekend I didn't even know it existed. She got them at Gabe's. There are 3 of them. They are licensed Transformers toys called Key Blasters, basically little cars that have a little ejector key thing on them. So they are this is supposed to be Optimus Prime and Megatron. This is supposed to be Grimlock and another Megatron. Grimlock is green, so I guess it's Robots in Disguise, Grimlock. And I have no idea. One of these is supposed to be Bumblebee. I guess the other could be, I don't know, Soundwave. But they were like $5 each. So I'm going to open them up and play with them, or let my kids play with them. The last thing I got was the At the Movies Collector's Edition Transformers movie soundtrack. So that came today. I wasn't expecting it. So this is like the second re-release of Transformers movie that's come out in the last 10 years. So a couple things, differences with this. Like the other, I think, was an audiophile heavy version of it. This one is in Unicron colors. Has a really nice internal sleeve that it's nice and thick. It feels premium. The outer sleeve it's got a nice textured feel to it. It also feels very premium. It's the problem with it is the last re-release of Transformers the movie looked really rough, really blurry. The scan that it's been printed on. Not that the original art is is the clearest, but it's definitely shows artifacting of being scanned and printed. It doesn't look great, but that's not unique to this one. The prior release looked the same, but this is a nicer sleeve that this comes in. So I have no idea where my turntable is.
How's the record look?
So I haven't. I mean, like I peeked at the Unicron yellow. I didn't take it completely out of the sleeve. But I can do it now since we're here. So for people who are talking with me right now, it kind of looks like the golden disc from Beast Wars.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. So
does, yeah.
So it's nice. And again, if I ever find my turntable, I'll probably play it because even though I give the soundtrack so much crap, I still enjoy it.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So this is what I got this week. I was excited about getting this. Wasn't expecting it. This is like I have several copies of this on. I have let's see here. It's on audio cassette. The listener gave me the audio cassette version. Have the
Cool.
CD, of course. And like this is like my 4th or 5th record. So yeah.
Wonder if it ever got put on 8-track anywhere.
I doubt. Like I would have it if it was. Like I'm
Right,
trying,
right.
I'm trying to think if it's on any other format, and I can't. I don't think that it is. There's like not really anything else that came out like mini disc, but it wouldn't been. I don't think anything was actually. I can't say that nothing was released on mini disc, but like yeah, so that's what I got. Chris, you got something you said this week, right?
Yeah. So this is kind of fun. So who remembers back in 2017 or so the third-party Perfect Effect?
Yeah.
So, they made a lot of add-on stuff for official Hasbro product, in addition to a few original quote-unquote things of their own, based, of course, on, all the Hasbro IP. One of the most popular things in 2017, though, well, I guess it's kind of a toss-up. So, like, they did a bunch of Combiner Wars add-on sets, which were, very popular for kind of paving over some of the rough spots of those Combiner Wars sets. But they also did some add-on sets for Titans Return. And one of the ones that people probably remember the best is PC-16, which is Ginrai Prime. That was the little Optimus Prime robot that they made to fit in either the Hasbro Leader Power Master Optimus Prime or would fit in the Takara Super Ginrai. So that kind of came and went that year, and very soon after started commanding high prices on the secondary market, whether in box or not. It is common these days to find that going for upwards of $200,
Oh,
like
wow.
complete with its packaging.
Dang.
So there's a toy store on the West Coast whose RSS feed I follow for like the new stuff that they list, and an odd thing caught my eye. So they listed something that they had titled as Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. It was not Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. It was the Combiner Wars Leader Ultra Magnus with a bunch of 3D printed parts added to it. And I happened to notice that the torso of it looked a little bit off from what I remembered. And yeah, sure enough, it had one of the Perfect Effect cab robots in there. Now, unfortunately, two problems with that. One, the Ultra Magnus version of this core robot was heavily bootlegged in like 2019. So it's kind of got that problem of like some of the Bathing Ape stuff, where if you see one secondhand, you can't be entirely sure that there's a genuine one. The other problem is that they were selling this monstrosity for like $130 as if it actually was a Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. So I didn't buy that, but I was looking through their other listings they put up at the same time, and I noticed this Titans Return Optimus Prime that they had listed, which had some of the same discrepancies about it. And I noticed, I was looking at the other pictures, and it's like, oh, there's some robot legs hanging off the back of that super robot. This has a Ginrai Prime in it, and Ginrai Prime didn't get bootlegged. So they only had that listed for $60.
Oh, wow.
So I immediately added that to cart and just went for it. And I did not know this at the time. Orders over $50 with this store get free shipping. So I paid $60 for this. So what I ended up getting was a Titans Return Power Master Optimus Prime trailer armor unit. It has the Ginrai Prime core robot with it, and it has the PC-15 upgrade parts. The PC-15 parts are a replacement chest piece for the super robot and the Ginrai Power Master figure. So the Ginrai Power Master figure, that also comes with a new super robot head. That was the thing that Perfect Effect released first. With like they released that, and then just a little bit after released the PC-16, which is the core robot. Theoretically, you can kind of use PC-15 with a Super Ginrai or Titans Return Power Master Prime on its own. But like it's really designed for this, and to get that core robot and the PC-15 parts is even more expensive on the secondary market. Now, the Ginrai Prime that I got in this, it is physically complete unto itself. It does not have any of its own accessories. So it came with 2 option hands originally and a large gun, 3 option hands, and 2 option loosely styled after, the iconic Optimus Prime rifle. Those were not there. I don't care. I don't need those. It has its fists that can actually, hold 5mm accessories. I've got the super robot head with it. There's nothing missing off of the robot itself. And importantly, again, it has the little Ginrai Power Master figure. So like it has everything I would want about it. And yeah, I got it for secondhand in this condition with the extra trailer unit, the same price that Ginrai Prime by itself cost when it was released. It's like, this is probably my score of the year just on what a deal I got on this.
That's super cool.
Definitely.
And yeah, so like I sold, I think in 2019 when I was trying to replace my camera, I ended up selling my Legends God Ginrai set, which was just the retail versions, the separate releases of Super Ginrai and God Bomber. So I've been wanting to pick up the LG EX version of God Ginrai, which I have not found the right price on yet, but like I wanted to do that anyway, but what I really wanted was to get that and have the Ginrai Prime and make, what is for me the ultimate God Ginrai modernized toy. So I've got, honestly, the more difficult to achieve part of that done now. So Ginrai Prime is in pretty good condition. It needs cleaning, which I can deal with that easy enough. The one physical problem with it is just that the waist swivel is super, super loose. There's basically no tension in that swivel joint, and it's a captive mushroom peg, which is making it difficult to find a way to like get floor polish or something in there to tighten it up. That's something I'm going to work on for a little while, but like I'll deal with that. I will go and buy some pipettes or something to like draw up the floor polish and like just get it into the little gaps in there. Somehow I will make this work, because for $60 to get this is just like, I'm not gonna let little details like that bring me down, man. Like this has made me so happy. It's a fun thing too. Like the transformation is very simple and straightforward, but it's very effective. The two modes have very different shapes and feels to them. And for something that is the complexity of a deluxe or so from the time it was released, like it's a really good achievement. The truck mode itself is not perfect. The robot chest, which is, accurately a fake like the original Ginrai or Power Master Optimus Prime cab toy, that's sticking out very visible on the back. And the little side flaps that you have to tab in to make the back end of the truck hold together and be square with the rest of it, like they will hold, but they're also easy to just kind of pop apart. Like it's well engineered, and like importantly, it does the thing that I always praise Dr. Wu for, where like the corners and edges are just rounded off slightly so that they're not sharp and painful to touch. It feels not quite like an official toy, but it is much, much closer to the feel of a legitimate Transformers toy than most third-party stuff, especially of the time period. Like I think this is the first Perfect Effect product I've actually handled myself, and I'm really impressed with some of the steps they took to make this feel like a real Transformers toy, to make it so when you combine this with your official Hasbro or Takara parts, they kind of mesh with each other aesthetically and tactily. Like the hand feel for both is very close to each other, and like it's such a thoughtful thing to have gone to that length to make these things match each other. So yeah, this $60 purchase is probably going to drive me to sooner rather than later make a much more expensive purchase of that EX version God Ginrai, but that'll be future Exvee's problem, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's plenty for me. That's all I got this week. I'm very satisfied with this pickup.
Very cool. Two things. One,
yeah.
Do you take a drink if I may have bought something, but I don't know yet?
Mandarake?
So it can't. No. Did I tell you that the Thunderclash that I bought, they ended up selling it before.
Right.
Yeah. Then another one popped up, and I had it in my cart, and I thought that I had hit submit. Turns out I didn't, and somebody else got it. So But no, this isn't that. One of Kim's friends from work, she and her husband are toy dealers. They go to toy shows and everything. And like we talk about toys a lot, and I see her at conventions. Dawn, you and I ran into her at that convention in Salisbury. So she had messaged me a few things during the show and asked me if I was interested. And like, if it's sealed and it's within what I collect, yeah, I'm going to buy it. So she told me she would get a price to me, but like if it's within reason, I'm going to pick them up tomorrow. So like maybe take a drink, maybe not. So like I
Sniff your drink.
Next week may be the worst what I got this week ever.
Worse in what sense?
Stupidest.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I'm on board.
Yeah, because that Thunder Clash, I Dononomics something in my mind. If like the money, because I paid them prepaid the Thunder Clash, so if I prepaid that and then they got refunded to me, that money is now free money. It doesn't exist. Like I can spend it on toys and I have to worry about it. So that's my Dononomics. But second. Blade said in the chat about the golden disc. I said the golden disc from Beast Wars, and he was like Transformers, where the golden disc is from Beast Wars and not real life. Yes, obviously I know it's real, and I know that it's modeled after the real one that when it was at Voyager, the Carl Sagan disc.
Yeah, Voyager 1 and 2 both had one.
Yeah, but yes, but like we're a Transformers podcast, so people know it from Beast Wars. But yes, it's obviously from real life. Thank you, Blade, for shaming me.
Beast Wars got it wrong anyway, because Beast Wars depicted the golden disc as a single disc that had the cultural information inscription on one side and a record groove on the other side, where the real Voyager discs, that's a casing on it and the record is held inside of that. They're two separate pieces.
I thought it was flipped as well. So like I had my information wrong. So I thought it was one side was like just inscribed with the glyphs or whatever, and the other side was a record. So like Beast Wars had contaminated my brain. So
yeah. Well,
okay.
I think that's largely because the animators didn't understand the difference either.
Yeah. So Diecast, you get anything?
Nothing Transformers.
Okay, Don.
Got one thing this week. Got the last part of my Legends class Lio Kaiser with Death Cobra.
Oh, nice.
So now I have the full set of Lio Kaiser, which was completed about 2 months after the other Lio Kaiser. So just like Ram Horns, I have a lot of Lio Kaiser to talk about. So that's all I got on topic this week, but I'm looking forward to finally putting everything together.
Matt, what'd you get?
Just one thing. So, the Doctor Wu mini cassettes that I missed out on the Squawk Box originally, but luckily they did a rerun of it. So now I have the little Squawk Box or Squawk Talking Beast Box.
Yeah.
Sweet.
They are just absolutely wonderful.
They are great.
I am so glad these came around again. One of my favorite cassette teams ever, anyway, because just I love the colors on these guys. They're the wacky late G1 colors. I really like Beast Box. His little monkey mode is wonderful, and the face on it is great. For Squawk Talk, there's not a whole lot to him. He's pretty much just legs and a crotch spread out. But yeah, I am so glad to finally have these.
Are you getting the other set, the Grand Slam and Rain Dance set?
Those I have. That's the first one I
Okay.
got after I missed out on these, and the Dino cassettes are in my pile of loot at Big Bad. So now I'm just waiting for, I think their next ones are Slugfest and Overkill. There were pre-orders for them at Show Z store when I got these.
I think I remember seeing like early renders for that. Yeah.
But
I'm glad you got them.
Oh, so am I. So thank you for. I believe you were the one that let me know they were doing another run.
I mean, I definitely sent you a message about that. I don't know if I was the only one, but yeah, I definitely tried to make sure you didn't miss out.
You were the only one that cared about my pain. So thank you.
Well,
I appreciate that.
I mean, those are such good toys. Everybody who missed out on those, I hope had a chance to get them on the re-release.
Nobody told me, so nobody cares about my pain.
You
I don't
need
have
your
that kind of
pig.
time, Brian. I'm sorry.
If you like it.
Yeah, true. Okay.
They might still have it at Show Z Store, Brian. You should go check. Then we could take another drink.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. So, Rob, what'd you get?
Nothing on topic.
Okay. Let's jump to ham sandwiches, the off-topic portion of what we got this week, and we'll start with Rob. We'll go in reverse order.
Okay. Yeah, I got some good stuff this week. I lost my mind a little bit. I really wanted the high-grade Gelgoog model kit from Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quux. So I bought it from Amazon Japan because I got sick of waiting for Surugaya to bring it in. We will not discuss what it cost.
Oh dear.
It was not super unreasonable, but it was definitely import cost with DHL shipping. So that's, I'm glad the exchange rate's still good.
Uh-huh.
Either way, it's a great kit. It is slightly smaller than most 1/144 scale Gundam models. It is about the G-frame MS in Action size range. I don't know if the mobile suit is supposed to be smaller than everything else, but the kit definitely is. Articulation's really good. Basically the aesthetic of G-Quux, it is by the mecha designer from Evangelion, doing riffs on the more blocky traditional Mobile Suit Gundam mecha designs. And it has very simple, almost all single joints at the knees, ankles, etc., and very elaborate frames that hold visible propellant tanks and the like. The torso joint is really interesting. It moves in 4 different directions. It is like an ab crunch joint plus a side to side rocker. The neck is really well constructed. It can almost look straight up. It's got toe joints, which again, just the ankles are very simple, very obvious pivots, and they might need tightened a little bit since there's no polycaps there. That means I may have to use a little bit of clear nail polish or acrylic floor polish or whatever to get that to work. It has a really nice storage rack for its weapons. Both of its beam spray guns and its beam saber all mount on a single rack on the rear skirt. And it's just really a very tidy and elegant solution to that. They also, for the model kit, added a second beam saber blade for the saber to make it more like a traditional Gelgoog, which I thought was cute. But really happy with it. I'm glad I spent the extra money to get it because my brain was not in any kind of good condition last night, and just sitting down and building something did me a world of good.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So this will not be available in the US until October, I think. So, if you want it, check your importers. Keep an eye out on Surugaya. It has been a couple of weeks and they still don't have it. So I think it might be a little bit more desirable than the Police Zaku. Also, it was basically kept secret until 3 days before it shipped. So pre-orders may not have been as high as on Police Zaku. The other thing I got is a couple of years ago, I think I mentioned they did a line called Gundam Military Generation, and it is 10 centimeter, yeah. Either way, 1/18 scale figures of characters from Mobile Suit Gundam. And the line lasted a few good waves. They came with a lot of accessories like diorama parts and things, so they were really expensive. And so it only lasted a few waves. They about a year after that, they brought some of the troop builders back under a line called GMG Professional, which were unpainted figures you could customize as you saw fit. Oh, they're taking another crack at it with a line called GMG Collection. They're carded figures with slightly smaller accessory counts to make things a little bit more affordable. They're closer to $25, $30 a piece instead of $50 and up for classic G.I. Joe scaled figures. But so I grabbed Amuro Ray and Ramba Ral from Surugaya because I did not get them on their first run-throughs. Amuro comes with Haro and his Operation V manual, which for Amuro in civilian clothes is about what you'd expect. Also extra hands because it's a high-end collector's figure. Rambaral does not come with much. I think he might have a pistol. I think he has some extra hands. Both of them came with non-posable girlfriends in the original releases. Like, yeah, just like statues of
We talking kiss players now?
Not quite. They're fully dressed and not posed weird. So yeah, they had
And
like
they don't look like they're 8.
Yeah. Yeah, so there were not originally non-posable figures of Frau Bo and Haman Crowley with these two figures respectively. And yeah, like I said, they cost like 2 to 3 times as much. So Rambaral also no longer comes with the dinner table. But
what's even the point?
Yeah, I'm just really happy to get a shot at these at a decent price. If they also did Shar and Sayla for anyone who missed those originally. I'm really kind of hoping they expand these from here because they have enough body types on hand that they could do like characters in uniforms that were not used in the original releases. They have entire characters that would just need like a head sculpt for a couple of these. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that this version is the one that finally takes off because I would be perfectly happy getting more of these figures.
Okay, so I missed if you said they cut like the accessories and stuff so the price could be a little bit more reasonable. What are these running?
25 to 30 as opposed to like 50 to 70.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's really not.
Do you think they'll make a GMG collection of Mr. Rawl from Build Fighters?
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'm sure there's an appropriate, like fairly, chunky body in a suit somewhere that you could get him in at least. Probably not the sweater vest. That might be a little bit harder to find, but
to me that's almost more iconic, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, are there any 1/18 bodies that are slightly overweight in a sweater vest? That is an important question.
You would think 1/18 dad bodies would just be a thing in today's world.
Yeah, actually.
I'm sorry, I derailed you. Please continue with your.
No, you haven't derailed me. You've given me ideas of things I need to search for, which is probably worse. But
yeah.
But yeah, that's those just showed up today. I haven't opened them yet, but they look really good. And I think that's everything I got this week.
Okay, cool. Who's next?
Matt, we're going in reverse order.
Nothing off topic.
Dawn?
Yeah, a couple of things. It was a heavy McFarlane week. Just things I wasn't expecting to find, and things finally came in. My wife last weekend was up visiting her folks, and she was at a Target and saw the Simon Baz Green Lantern figure that I had not seen locally, so I asked her to pick that up for me. Speaking of Green Lantern, this came from Best Buy with free shipping. It's Hal Jordan in the armor suit from The Return of Superman. Very nice looking suit. Continuing on with the Green Lantern theme, I thought this was a GameStop exclusive, but it wasn't. I got Jade because Kyle Rayner needs Jade because they're like the best power couple that DC screwed up. So there's that. And the last thing I got was the hard to find Supergirl. I did not have a good Supergirl from my DC collection, and this is one of the best ones I've seen that wasn't like super high expensive. So went ahead and got one because she keeps selling out everywhere. Because I originally ordered this from Walmart.com, and the retailer sent a email to Walmart, who passed it along to us. Apparently, their tractor trailer that had their Killing Joke Joker and several other batches of McFarlane figures was stolen. So they were unable to fill pre-orders based on the theft of the vehicle. So,
well, that's a very convenient story.
Be that as it may, I did get one. I got it at retail, but thanks to McFarlane, she comes. I know the sword is part of the story, but it's like, why does Supergirl need a sword? It's like, why does God need a starship? But that's all I got off topic this week.
Diecast.
Yeah, I picked up the No Way Home Spider-Man, which is actually the whatever his name is.
Is
Tom
it
Holland.
the Tobey Maguire version?
No,
No,
not
Tom
Tobey-
Holland.
Tom Holland.
Oh, okay.
And interestingly enough, the Venom came in the mail, which is like Gamerverse. Look how big this Venom is compared to Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, I mean, wasn't that like a $50 figure?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, I mean,
I mean,
you know,
then
that's
that's not
the
too bad.
tracks.
That's not too bad because Venom is a very big hulking figure.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the Venom figure because
Also, I think he's supposed to be gigantic because that's a Gamerverse figure. I haven't made it that far into that game, but I'm pretty sure he's just massive.
yeah. But I didn't even buy him for Gamerverse. I bought him to go on my Spider-Man shelf anyway. So I have a bunch of Venom, so it works out. But this is probably the biggest Venom I have. That's all I got.
Chris,
No, thanks.
guess what?
It's time to thank our patrons.
Yes, I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons of Radio Free Cybertron get an ad-free version of the show. They get it a day early at a higher bit rate with a complete What We Got This Week segment, including non-Transformers content. There's a weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast, and we have unedited versions of the show. And there will be an edited version of this show that will go up on the public feed with a slight edit. And the edit will not make it to the Patreon feed. The patrons will get like the full unfortunate like conversation that we had with Don where I like just like shut him down and I shouldn't have. Like patrons will get to hear me shut Don down. Don, and I'm sorry for that. But people listening to the public feed, you won't get that. So
I'm used to it.
yeah. So that will be in the Patreon version. If you are on Discord and you connect it to your Patreon, you get a fancy color, red for touch patrons, purple for the other tiers. You get There Goes My Money a week early. We post an episode posted last week. One will be posting this week. We'll have like more posting. Like we're catching up on all of those. I'm gonna have the Hot 5 missing episodes up very soon as well. So I've been listening to every episode of There Goes My Money. I've
I'm
listened
so sorry.
I really like it.
No, that's my knee jerk response. I said the same thing every time you said you listened to a superhero time,
Yeah,
or anytime anyone said they listened to a superhero time.
but I really
I
enjoy
miss superhero
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. But I really enjoy listening to it. And that's why I want to be on next week because I'm going to have an absurd What I Got This Week segment.
I mean, I kind of figured it was a little from column A, a little from column B.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be that. And I'm going to have so much stupid stuff that I may not mention it all in like RSC. I might just say, hey,
Oh, interesting.
tune in to like, it's going to be a lot. It's obscene. So, but we'll have that. So patrons at Touch here get to be on There Goes My Money. And Touch patrons are mentioned on the show each week and listed at tfradio.net/credits. So I want to thank Kevin Dorsey, Sent the Proto, Mollis Koenig, Daniel Scott, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, Trickster, Here's Why It's Cool, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Joey Russell, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Sean Hamilton, and Sean Bratton. Thank you all so much. And again, if you want to be one of these fine folks, go to patreon.com/tfradio. You can find all of our crap going back 25 years at tfradio.net. You can find me at briankilby.com and at kilby.bsky.social. And on Instagram, I'm going to try to use Instagram more. I'm Brian Kilby on Instagram. So let's see here. Rob Springer not here. He's at Rob Springer on Twitter, zonebase.org, and at zonebase.bsky.social. John DeLuna not here this week. He is at that John D everywhere except for eBay, where he is Cloudburst, and he's been Cloudburst for years. So you can check those guys there. Rob, how do people get a hold of you?
I am on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. I'm on YouTube at Flailthroughs, still covering Gundam Battle Operation 2, hoping to maybe cover a couple other things in the coming weeks. We will see. but GBO2 updates once a week on Wednesday night to Thursday morning. So check out my channel Thursday mornings to see what's been added to the game. Last week was the Gundam F90 Mars Xeon version, which means nothing to anybody here but maybe Chris.
Yep.
And yep. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what's next. But yeah, if you like what I do over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, where you can support the channel or make requests of specific rounds for the game. And if you just feel like sending me something and also sending a little bit of money back towards the show, tfradio.net/playlist is where my Amazon wish list lives.
Cool. Chris.
You can find me in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. I have nothing but good things to say about our Discord server and all the people that are in it. Great crowd of people. We talk in there all the time about every conceivable topic except for politics. That's very not allowed, and please don't do that to me because I don't like having to be a moderator. No, like our group of regulars in there is so good about policing themselves and keeping things where they're supposed to go, and like I feel so privilege is not quite the right word, but like I'm super grateful that I don't ever really have to go and actually be the moderator for the channel that I technically am as the community manager there. Like I'm so thankful for the quality of regulars we have in our Discord server. So please do come and hang out with us in there. It's a great place to be. You can find my website at playwithphotography.com with toy galleries, articles I've written about photography topics, that sort of thing. And if you would just like to do random acts of kindness for me, I do have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist. Also sends a little bit back to the show through Amazon referral, just like Rob's wish list does.
Very cool. Diecast. Or not.
Yeah. You can get a hold of me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Diecast2. You can see my reviews on youtube.com/RFC reviews or reviews or tfradio.net/reviews. You can also like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. And I have an Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/diecast list.
Very cool. Matt?
melvar.bsky.social. 3 L's and 2 R's.
And I'm forgetting Dawn. I'm kidding. Dawn, you're last. What's going on?
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EBR. I can be reached on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 .bluesky.social. I also have an Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/Dawn list.
Very cool. Well, that's it. Thank you all so much. We will see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Recording stopped.
Yeah.
Good show.
Good show.
Yeah.
That was great. Oh, God, next week's going to be awful.
The Discord people keep saying that there was swearing this episode because I said dick and asshole once each.
I didn't hear dick. I heard asshole.
Yeah.
Dick was in there somewhere.
Well, tell Grayson to get his act together.
So having a toy dealer local to me is probably not good, but it's better than me buying.
You think?
It's better than me buying collections and doing it myself, though. So
Yeah.
like last week they sent me a picture. It's like, oh yeah, we bought a I don't think I may have mentioned this. We bought a collection. I'm like, oh, we should have bought a collection, but then I saw the stuff and I was like, nothing I would really want. But then she sent me a couple other pictures from another collection they bought. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that one. And she, like, during the show was like, hey, would you want these? And I'm like, yes, and yes. So,
I mean, there's definitely something to be said for getting first pick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like they go to conventions. It's like they don't put stuff up on eBay. They have like a booth at a local antique mall, and they take stuff to conventions. So, and whenever I end up doing this, I'm going to do it online only. I don't want to do conventions. Like, I mean, maybe I do. Like, I think Kim Kim wants to do a side hustle, and like we've talked about things to do, but I think the thing that really makes the most sense is doing toys. because
I mean, conventions would probably be your best bet because
Yeah.
that's people would be specifically looking for the type of stuff you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I think we could make a go of it and use the podcast as like the primary like advertising mechanism. Like I think that I could make a decent go of it. Like I don't. It's never going to be like. It's never going to replace my income, and really, it's in place to supplement my collection. Because like, it's kind of like, oh yeah, here's a better version of what I already have. Like, let me put what I already have on the store.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that makes a lot of sense, Brian, because it's like you don't feel guilty about using your primary income, and it's a sense of satisfaction to use what you make on the side, pay for the stuff. It's a good feeling when you can
Yeah.
make $30 on something and pay for your $25
Yeah,
figure.
like I was kind of doing this before, and I was buying stuff off Mandarake, and then it's like, oh, this is a better version of what I already have. I can sell what I already have and take this one. I've been doing that a little bit off and on over the years, but this would be like taking it to the next level. But yeah, like the things that she sent me were all sealed, and I'm like, I'm only interested in anything they find sealed, not G1. But I guess it's technically all Vintage now because I'm only buying up through Cybertron as far as that stuff goes.
I feel very sad when you describe Cybertron as vintage.
It is.
No, I'm not saying what you're saying isn't true. I'm just saying it makes me sad.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, Brian, there's a lot of Prime stuff that if they get some of the first edition stuff sealed at a good value,
I don't like it though.
Really? Because that
Yeah.
bulkhead is fantastic.
I don't care. I don't have any attachment to Prime at all. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump. I gotta take my dog out.
Yeah, I do too, actually. So,
Okay.
hey, people watching live, I'm going to kill the stream. We will see you next week. So, bye Twitch. And bye Menon. And in a second, bye YouTube. Oh. Bye YouTube.
Hey,
Don
Chris,
June-
Chris, as long as you're feeling old, you realize it's been like 10 years since you stopped